At some point during the season of Samhain, I will be moved to do a small ritual where I light 3 candles to honor the 3 aspects of the god. I'll also cover the ritual that I do to honor the goddess in the same way. This is the season when we are especially aware that our gods are the sum of all of their aspects, as are we. We are exploring our aspects within this turning, cutting through the illusion of who we thought we were, who we thought we might become. And if we do the work of the season well, we will be reminded once again that we are a myriad of versions of ourselves. All of our experiences, our memories, and our hopes exist a part of who we are. We are child selves within our older selves, our innocent and trusting selves and our cynical and suspicious selves. Like our gods, we are not single-faceted. There's great revelation in the dark. It's a fallacy to think that light's always the thing that leads us to discovery. Light is as often an illusion. The dark, though. The dark. It requires us to use every instinct to know something well. What of ourselves can we name in our dark places? Here's the call that I'll be using this year in my 3 candles for the god ritual. Hermes, brother, Lord of the dawn, wanderer of the land and the soul, remind me to be eternally curious. Herne, lover, Lord of the bright sun, true to your essence in every moment, remind me to be no one but myself. Ubatala, father, Lord of twilight, protector, advisor, and he who chides, remind me to be worthy of respect and self-respect. Might you consider honoring 3 aspects of the god as you have come to know him? By honoring aspects of him, you acknowledge that he is not one thing, and neither are you. I personally have been working on considerations of all the aspects of the male divine, for it seems to me that we have, thinking of our story in the last post of Mahani, put him in a cage. We explore who the goddess might be in all her aspects, but the god is usually frozen in one aspect or another. That's the way it's often seemed to me, at least. What would you name as the trifold concept of the male divine? In this candle lighting, he is brother, lover, and father. I just recently read somewhere that described him as hunter, king, and prophet, and have often considered him as knight, magician, and sage. But all of that has felt limiting, as the concept of the threefold goddess does. More coming on that. In consideration of the god, how about craftsman, trickster, life-giver, guardian, guide, healer, hermit, judge, lord of the dance, stag, star child, virgin, wanderer, Peor Aeternus, the eternal child, creator, consort, nurturer, king, son, mystic, priest, hero, grandfather, destroyer, diplomat, challenger, explorer, rebel, protector, advisor, wayfarer, and warrior. Just for a start. One thing I've learned, I limited my experience of the god for decades, focusing on just a couple of his aspects. And those aspects were often stereotypical and one-dimensional. Yep, I admit that. From Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette in their book, it's a really good one, by the way, King, Warrior, Magician, and Lover, Rediscovering the Archetypes of the Mature Masculine, a quote. Mature masculinity is not abusive, domineering, or grandiose, but generative, creative, and empowering of the self and others. I've been collecting names for aspects of the god and then seeking out the gods that represent those aspects. And sometimes the other way around. I think they seek out me for quite some time. I'd love to know what you might add to what I've suggested. I'll put the list in the text box below. I want my list of his aspects to grow. I want to continue to explore every aspect of who he might be. Honestly, I really want to hear from you. It's gentlemen friends who have provided a lot of the inspiration for me along the way to consider the god in so many different ways. And if I get enough new suggestions, I'll update this vlog so that I can share them with you. I wish you in the season of Samhain mirth and irreverence.